All right, we are recording. Welcome everybody. I'm gonna hop right into it. Let's go ahead and just start with Jordan. Jordan, we're gonna have you share your It Works story. Don't be nervous. I see your cute face, maybe being a little nervous. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I can't find you. Oh, I found you.
I think I did. Am I good?
You're good. All right, go for it, Jordan. Take it away.
All right. So I got started. Me and my husband were young parents, and I actually dropped out of college to have our first child. And so my husband, he had like a 2-year degree, so he had a pretty good job. And so I started working at a daycare. And at that point, I guess I knew that I didn't want to work at a daycare forever, but I watched Sarah Heineman, and I watched her post for a year at least. And I watched and I watched. I read every single one because I was so interested. And I was like, that sounds like something really amazing, but I didn't think I could ever do something like this. And then so after a year of watching, I don't remember what it was, just a post that must have resonated with me. And I had tried some products, and then I just went over to her house one day and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm just going to sign up because I saw her triple her husband's income. That's what it was. And then I just figured, why not? What do I have to lose? So then I got started, and I let fear creep in. I let doubt creep in. I didn't believe that I could do it. I didn't think of myself as like a salesperson or whatever you think of when you first start. And I was afraid of posting, of getting out of my comfort zone, or whatever. So I didn't do much. I did a little bit with the business. I mean, I made some money. And then I got up to Ruby at one point. And then after that, then I kind of just stopped working. There was we were doing fine and having a lot of stuff going on. And so I just kind of stopped working. And then my business obviously died. And then I remember I specifically remember having conversations with some of my friends, and I was like, well, I want to just kind of quit because I don't really want to do it anymore because something's happening. But I couldn't, there was always something bringing me back. I couldn't let go of it because I had seen so many people be successful, and I knew that I could do something with this business. I knew how life-changing it could be. So for some reason, I could not let go of it. And I was talking about working at Caribou or Starbucks because I love expensive coffee, and I was going to work at Chipotle because we go there every day. So those were my options, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to do those things. I decided I didn't want to have an extra job, and I didn't want to take more time away from my family. And I forgot, because at that point we had our second child, and that's when I left the daycare. So we were just on my husband's income, and we weren't making enough money. We had a lot of debt, and we were living fine, but no, we needed money. So at that point was when I decided that I had to do something about my business. And then I just started, I don't know, it was just a decision. It was just a decision that I had made to start working, and now here I am.
Jordan, you're giving me anxiety. I knew you were gonna want to quit and work at Chipotle. What are you doing with your life?
I know.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. You guys, I had no idea. This is the first time hearing of you wanting to work at Chipotle or Starbucks. Please, Lord Jesus. I'm just, I'm sweaty now. I'm so glad that you didn't go work at Chipotle. I'm so glad that you stuck with it and went diamond. Girl, yikes. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Emily, go ahead and unmute yourself. Same question for you. Tell us your It Works story.
First of all, I'm pretty sure we're twinning it hard tonight, but you're doing it way better than me. Everyone needs to buy this hoodie. Legit. It's the most comfortable thing in the world. Okay, my It Works story. I took notes so I wouldn't rabbit trail, so we'll see how long this 15-minute story changes. I'm kidding. I'll try not to. Okay, so I actually have watched Katie, Claire, and Sarah. I'm very lucky that I have watched them from week one, I guess. Well, months later, Sarah joined, but I watched her because Katie's mom actually made a post. I was friends with Katie's mom that her daughter, Catherine, had started her own health and wellness company. So I added her right away and I stalked her hard for like 7 months. Like hard, you guys. I watched her, I'm like, oh, that's intriguing. And then I could smell an MLM a mile away. I had been a part of 3 other companies since I turned 18. So in 10 years, you know, I had tried and failed, if you want to say, at 3 other companies. Lost thousands with one, had a really bad experience with one, almost like cult level. And then the other one was an amazing company, and it just wasn't the right fit or right time. And kind of looking back now, none of those companies were the right fit or the right time. So when I watched Katie, I watched her because, I mean, of who her parents were. I trusted them, and I really watched her because there was something different in her posting. I knew it was an MLM. I could tell it was direct sales, all that stuff, but there was something different. I literally had a moment where I actually almost unfriended her. I actually unfriended all, like, I had Claire, Katie, and Sarah, and I actually almost unfriended all of them because they were so flipping positive. They're like making me uncomfortable in the best ways possible. Like they were forcing me to like think outside my comfort zone and to be like, there really is more. And then I think they all at one point posted like how old they were. I'm like, oh, they're like the same age as me. Like, well, I could do this. Like, they're not any better than me. Like, they're real people with a bunch of children and jobs and husbands and whatever they had going on, like I could relate with. And I think that's what, for the first time I connected, that I could see myself in the situation, if that makes sense. Like it really related to me for the first time. So I joined in March of 2016, and my goal was just to make $300 extra a month. It was the first time in our adult lives we both had full-time jobs, and we were making decent money for the first time in our lives. Not that we were budgeting it well, though. We were kind of hot messes, still hot messes, but that's okay. It's kind of like our thing now. But my goal is to make $300. So I wound up tripling. I did that in my first like 2 months in the business. So I got comfortable early on really quick. I actually didn't even try for distributors until fall 2016. And in September 2016, August 2016, my grandparents needed some more help. So we wound up, it's a hot mess story too. We wound up selling our home and moving in with them because their home was a little more friendly for my grandma's needs. And so we went from being a young family in our own home with 2 children under 2, my husband working opposite shifts, me being a full-time hairstylist, to adding into of grandparents who needed a lot of help. Caregiving has really changed me as a person. So that was in August. And then in September, so just a month later after we already turned our lives upside down, we went through a major family trauma. And I actually had to step away from the business. I should say I had to put the business down, which is something I never intended on doing ever, for about 2.5, 3 months to really help my family heal. But not only did I have to put the business down, I actually walked away from my full-time job that day and came home. And I haven't been back to work since, which is really awesome because this business kind of saved my butt, if for lack of better terms. You know, what kind of was a side hustle thing I wasn't taking seriously wound up becoming my saving grace. I could say, I guess, February of this last year, February, March, I jumped back in and told Katie, I need this business. I'm ready. We just had a kind of a powwow, and she told me to start just get my act together in her loving Katie way, and pretty much just stay focused and be consistent. And so there was a Zoom with Britt Sheridan and Carissa. I still remember, I actually think I have it saved somewhere, where they kind of shared their going to Diamond story. And they both talked about how self-development. And I still, like, I used to be that one on Zooms. I was waiting for the secret. Like, what was the secret? And then everyone would say self-development. I'd be like, ugh, okay. And then they're like, what's next? Like, what's next? So I really just started taking self-development seriously when I jumped back in a year ago. And now I get to be home with my kiddos and my grandparents full-time, and we're retiring my husband next month.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love it, Emily. Oh my goodness, just hearing these stories, you guys, can't you relate to this on some level? I love hearing from other leaders on this team, because we can all just see how everybody's stories are so different, but they all have so much in common. And that really is just believing that you can do this and believing that you can get to Diamond. And Jordan and Emily, I didn't say this at the beginning, but Jordan and Emily are our brand new diamonds in Freedom Legacy. And these girls believe, like, literally, it's so cliche. You see it on every t-shirt, every coffee mug, whatever. but these girls believe that they did it, and so they did. And I am just, it gives me chills to hear your stories about, you know, just being real moms, real women, working this business and just deciding to make it happen. I absolutely love it. Okay. All right, let's get into some questions here. Now that we know a little bit about yourselves. We'll start with Emily just because you're on my screen here right now. What was your daily mindset and your daily and weekly goals that you had to set in order to get yourself to Diamond?
Okay. So this one's fun. I used to be really regimented and followed this really like strong 6 list. And I was so regimented to the point that I like overcomplicated it and I stressed myself out. So this last, I guess it would have been last fall, really, I actually wound up having to erase my entire chart and I just revamped. And I got to that point where like, yes, I have a 6 list of what I would like to do, but there's like daily 3 things that are like my non-negotiables. It really comes down to setting daily, small, simple tasks that will add up to the big wins in the end. So for me, I just had to establish those non-negotiables, and that's self-development. Like, you guys, I'm crazy. Like, if you even knew what my goals were for the end of this year, like, they're happening, and it's crazy, but it's happening. You should have heard the pep talk I just gave myself in the mirror. Like, it's legit. You get your mind right, it will happen. So self-development, posting. And then now currently in the season of life I'm in, I'm really loving hard on my team, but I'm also messaging my potentials. I'm really loving hard on my potentials and communicating with them. I hope that answered it.
I love it. That's amazing. Jordan, same question. Your daily, weekly goals, and what was your daily mindset?
Okay. My daily goals, I decided that I had to have, like, I looked at the beginning of the month and I had to find a specific number of GV for every single day to get my goal. And so that's what I did, because I figured, and I was messaging people, like, my goal was to get at least 60 people a day, to message 60 people a day. And then I was posting every single day. Like, my goal was to get like 3 times a day, which I've never done before. And my other goal, because like I had the number, like specific number for every day that I had to get, because it was easier to catch up on one day of work versus an entire week of work, like having that number. So just having like very specific goals and doing the daily, what do you call that? Self-development thing. Yeah. Just doing that and doing something to keep the attitude up.
Yes, I love that. I feel like that's so practical to just, we all know what our end goal for the month is, but to break that down and really look, okay, week by week, day by day, what does that look like for me? I feel like that's so practical for people. And I think you just gave some people their aha moment for tonight. I love that. All right, Jordan, let's stay with you. Your next question is, what was the number one thing, if you could think of like the thing that you did to pull off a double promotion this last month? You went from Ruby, life rank Ruby, to Diamond, but really the month before that, you were just maintaining as an executive. So what did you do in order to make that huge jump last month?
I just worked every single day. And I even had to give up like some social things. But like I had that goal, and I had, I just had a goal and I had to get there, and every time I wanted to give up, it was like, because like, guys, not every day is easy. There was so many days I wanted to just like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to message people. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, I was burned out like some days. But then I just like remembered how many days I had already done. And I was like, well, I've already done all this work. Like, I can't just give up on that. Like, what a waste that would have been. And then I kept looking at just how life-changing the place that you want to get to, how life-changing that would be. And so I just had to keep like remembering what I've already done and that I didn't want to waste it. And then just going back to like what I wanted, what our family needed. Sorry.
No, you're good. I love that. That's so good. And to think of what you've put into this business, regardless of what place you're at right now, to just look back and say, I don't want that to waste. You spent some time away from your, friends or family or kids or whatever it is. You spent some time on your phone. Don't let that go to waste. Make something out of that. That's so, so good. Okay, Emily, go ahead and unmute yourself. If you guys have questions, by the way, as you're listening to these, go ahead and write them in the comments. I have the comments up, and we can absolutely sneak some questions in there if you guys have them. Emily, along the same lines, you had a little bit of a different story, but you promoted 2 months in a row. And that was one of the questions for you. How did you continue that momentum to push really, really hard to promote to Emerald, and then the very next month promote to Diamond?
Yeah, so we went to conference in February, and really last fall, God was really been working on kind of like the plan that would be put in place. And I really took it seriously when I think it was Brittany Hayes on one of the team Zoom said, the seeds that you plant during that season at the end of the year is when you will reap the harvest. So I really took that serious and worked on my mindset a lot then too, because I knew it was going to take work. And then there was a click because Alyssa, Bill, you said once too, this should be fun. So I was so serious and focused. And then when I added the fun into it and I took that pressure off, I'm like, let's just roll with it, which is not me at all, you guys. I'm not that personality at all. So I actually printed off my emerald, my diamond, and my double chart, and I put them all on a clipboard. And I only looked at the other two once because I am that person, but I worked on one chart at a time, and I wrote up in the corner what month I was going to do it in. And of course I had that mindset though that if it needed to change, it would change. So far it hasn't though. But I mean, it could, I'm rolling with that, but I'm just writing it up in the corner. So I'm kind of mapping out my plan, if that makes sense. So in February at conference, God was really laying it on my heart. Vendor events, parties, getting in front of people again. I'm really embracing the fact that I do like people. That I am that is my thing. And I literally we drove from Illinois to Florida for a conference. That was the best motivator ever because I'm never doing it again. So I want to be able to make enough money to fly to conference next year. Oh my gosh. So serious about that. But it was a great time for my husband and I to talk and really kind of get a game plan of what we wanted to do. And so we decided on the way, back, actually we hosted 7 in-person parties in February. It was also our anniversary month, so I was determined to promote by our anniversary, which is February 28th, and we did. So we wanted to promote, but we actually would have promoted Emerald and Diamond. That was our goal. I chose to build my husband's leg as my strongest leg. So we were really close to actually double promoting last month. So that helped as well, the groundwork I laid last month. I've learned, too, to not get so frustrated in that last week of when you have all these seeds planted and people are so close, and they say, I need to wait to the next month. That's fine. Awesome. I'm penciling you in. I know then the first is rolled around and I already have momentum. I'm keeping it moving forward. I'm keeping those appointments. So I also met in person with a lot of people just to get that one-on-one. And yeah, that's it. Am I frozen or is Miss Sarah Heineman frozen?
I think Sarah's frozen.
She looks so pretty.
Well, while we wait for Sarah to come back, Emily, I had a question for you.
Yes.
I wanted to know, you sign a lot of very high BV customers, and obviously that contributes towards your promotions. So give us a couple tips on how you sign high BV orders.
I'm trying to find my notes on that. Well, I know that we say that we are not salespeople, but we are. And I think that's something we need to start embracing. And I come from the hair world. I was a full-time hairstylist. So I've really started treating my conversations with potential customers as a consultation. Whether I'm in a text conversation or an in-person conversation, I get them talking. It's the number one rule, ask a lot of questions, because like, for example, someone says, I want to be like this color, like in the hair world, I want to be this color. Well, show me a picture and then really get to talking. Okay, what do you want to do to get there? And the more questions you ask, you actually get to the root of what they're really wanting. Because there's a lot of times people will say one thing and say another. So somebody will tell me, okay, well, I want to lose this many pounds. Well, you start talking to them and you realize, oh, they're eating out 5 times a day. Oh, well, that's fun. You know, we got to work on other things as well. So my whole mindset shifted from trying to get one singular product to, I want to do a 90-day challenge with you. I'm planting that seed now that this takes time and effort. And, you know, being a product of the product is what switched it for me as well. It got people interested, realizing, oh, this can work. That, you know, this thick girl with a very busy life who loves food has been able to still love life, to still do this successfully in a healthy way. That helped me. So I'm able to get on one-on-one conversations with people again. I'll meet them for coffee. I will jump on the phone with them. I'm willing to go outside, you know, take that little bit extra time to be more personal with them. I know that they will be purchasing something, period. I just know. I mean, when someone is in my chair, they were going to leave with a product, or, you know, my time was wasted. I want them to be able to maintain and, you know, achieve the goals that they have in mind. Well, this is the plan that's in place.
I love that. I think Sarah's back, but I just want to ask like one more clarification with it.
Yes,
so if
yes.
someone messages you, for example, and they just say like, hey, I've seen your post, I'm looking to lose some weight. How do you open up the conversations that you can start asking questions?
Yes, exactly. Sorry. Thank you for being more specific. So actually my conversations go the same with every single person I talk to. I literally say, I'm so excited to help you. In short terms, I'm so excited to help you. I definitely know that these products can work for you or whatever, something like that. And then I just ask them, first, I need to know, what are your 3 to 6 month health, wellness, fitness, skincare goals? What are your current eating habits, exercise habits like? What is your water intake like? So that gets the conversation going. They respond. And I always say, please be honest, no judgment from me. It helps me best recommend products. I have a script. I will definitely drop it probably in the Freedom thread if you don't mind, because it's in text replacement on my phone. So I can just hit a couple things and it'll drop. And then so I always give them a compliment, you know, commend them on their actions. Or if it's like really bad, I literally have told people, girl, we got some work to do, but you're headed in the right direction. The fact that you want this, I mean, I'm down as Jess's face. But no, for real, I say that to them because it's for real. I mean, because I needed some. I'm going to be honest with you. We have some work to do, but you're headed in the right direction. Your mindset's already there. You want this. Let's go get it together. What is your comfortable monthly budget? So then they come back, and that is a great time to explain the loyal customer program, which I 99.999% voice message them about, because you can fit it into a real quick, short and sweet voice message, and you know it doesn't, and you know, whatever, scare them off when they get this long of a response, because I'm really trying to shorten that up, but it's hard to get the full LC program explained in that. And so then from there moving forward, I say, perfect. I definitely have some products in mind for you. That's a healthy budget or whatever the budget is. If it's low, we start with the cleanse. If it's a health and wellness, like they want to lose weight, I always start with cleanse. It's a key foundational product in getting healthy. And then I will, if it's bigger, I offer one of the bundles. I let them know we have some different bundle options. Would a meal replacement shake be helpful? And do you like coffee? That breaks it down to, I'm either going to go to the Fit Pack route, or I'm going to go to one of our other packs. Or at that point, if neither of those work, a lot of my higher BV people, I've just customized a bundle for them, and they've just pretty much, I'm putting together a bundle for them. Everything's at wholesale cost, but they're fine with it because it's specifically geared towards every single one of their needs.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know exactly what Claire asked, but I like that she asked it because that was amazing. Emily, was that similar to what I was going to ask you later on?
How I sign high volume.
Okay, perfect. Yay. I'm so glad. Thanks, Claire, for stepping in there. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping that it's still recording on my computer, which is currently frozen right now, but it says recording. So I'm not going to touch that, and I'm just going to move to my phone here. So hopefully it's all going to work out fine. But thanks for taking over. Okay. Okay, let's keep with Emily here just for another question here, and then we'll go to Jordan with the same question. What is the biggest setback that you've had in your business, and how did you overcome that?
So I've had two. The first setback I had was in fall of 2016. Our family was majorly attacked in one of the most horrific ways we've ever been attacked as a family. And I just had to sit down and walk away. But it was really integral in stealing my mind, as in just reinforcing my mind that this is the answer for our family. So again, self-development pulled me out of that one for sure. And really just, like I said, laid the groundwork into what was still to come. And then honestly, my second largest setback was having to completely wipe away my chart. I wound up in 1 week building my entire double chart during that kit sale, the infamous $9.99 kit sale, and working really hard with those people and like having a baptism by fire into leadership, and then working really hard to fill that on my own was the most exhausting time of my life. When I built Tim to Ruby on my own in November, all that volume, it was exhausting. And so I kind of just had this come to Jesus moment that, you know, I want people that are running with me. I want people that want this. And I just started praying that into existence. So those are two of my setbacks.
Yes. Oh, who can relate to that? I know so many people can. And honestly, just hearing that mixed with all these practical tips that you guys are giving, this is fire for you guys that are experiencing something like this. And to see these girls that they did it, they made it happen. You know, this is really all that you need in order to go reach those goals yourself. Okay. Jordan, same question. What's been your biggest setback and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of the same thing where a lot of my distributors just stopped working, like 98% of them. And so then I was just like, well, like, what do I do now? But so basically, and I don't know. I mean, it was just like that realization of what I wanted in this business, and then just deciding to go for it. Because like even this past, like I promoted, and I've had a rock star like Lindsay Volker. She's on my team, and I'm so thankful for her. But then my other side, the like chart, I had to start out this month. I had one person. Actually, I didn't even start out with her. I had nobody working. And I got one more person, and Caitlin, and she's amazing. She helped me out a lot. But then I had like all of these people to still work for. I had like how many ever people, 8 or 6 maybe, like 400 GV boxes to fill. So that was like my goal. I had to fill that. And so it was just like, it was more like not thinking of it as an overwhelming thing and just like thinking like, okay, I can do this. And like the switch, it's like literally a mindset switch of just like, because then once you're more confident in what you have and more confident, like that's when I started trying the products, becoming a product of the products, and I was confident in what I was giving people because I had used them, and I was confident in what this business was doing because I was doing something about it myself. And so people can hear that in your voice, even if you're just like texting them. So yeah, I don't know, just having that confidence and believing that you can do that, because people will see that and they'll hear that in your voice.
Yes, I freaking love that. To be a product of the product and to actually be working, that comes across to people when you're talking to them. That is so good, Jordan. I feel like that's so insightful and just something that, you know, people need to hear, that people can tell when you are like working your butt off, and they can tell when you're loving these products. I feel like that's so good. So good. And just like Claire said, you know, it takes a team to get to diamond. It's not just a one person thing. We all, you know, you can maybe get to diamond by yourself. It would be really overwhelming and exhausting, but you can't go any further than that. And so giving credit where credit is due and encouraging your team, just like Emily said earlier in the Zoom tonight, just loving your team and praising them. I absolutely love that. That's so important. And such a big part of this leadership role that diamond gives is that once you're at diamond, you've got a team, you're in that leadership rank. And ask yourself, people who aren't diamond yet, are you ready for that? Are you currently acting as a leader for your teams? Are you loving your team? Are you encouraging them? Are you praising them every time that you see somebody's name in E-Suite? How are you doing at that? And, we all have room to grow, but that is something to be considering. If you're pushing for diamond, start doing those things now, because that's what it takes to go diamond and to go beyond. Jordan, I just wanted to say too, you have a very Blake Lively look about you like right now. And I'm kind of loving it. Yeah, I know it is. That was just distracting me a little bit, and I just needed to say it real quick because you're looking good. Okay, Jordan, let's stay on you. A similar question to what Emily had earlier that Claire asked, which I also had something similar written down so that Claire and I, we got it. Jordan, you've had more customers. Really? Right? Carissa, you got the same thing. Blake Lively. I'm so jealous. Jordan, you signed more customers last month than you ever have in any other month. How did you make that happen? How did you get high volume orders? How did you just keep them rolling? And what switched? What did you do?
Yeah. First of all, I went downstairs, and then this is the first time I've worn makeup in a while, and my son was like, "What's on your face?" So this is not every day, but I so appreciate you guys. And I think the switch was just posting consistently. And I was posting a lot about weight loss, because I realized that if you're trying to get a lot of volume, weight loss is kind of the way to do it, because when people want to lose weight, when they have big goals, people are willing to spend a lot more money, and not whatever, and they want to, they're willing to get healthy. People are willing to spend more money when it's going to help their insides from inside out. And so that's what I was focusing on a lot last month, was doing weight loss stuff, before and afters and that kind of thing. And I did a lot of host to post and just getting ready for summer. Getting ready for summer is a big way to do it, because people want to get ready for summer. So I think that was a lot. And I was messaging people, a ton of people. So posting consistently and host to post. I asked a lot of friends and stuff that they did it for me, or just random LCs or potential LCs. And just messaging a lot of people. Cold messages, I probably sent out like what I said, 60 or 80, 100 a day. So host to post is I would ask somebody if they would post on their wall for me, or sometimes I would even just post a status on my wall and just say who would be willing to post on their page for me in exchange for free product. And that's when a lot of, even if you guys don't have free product to give out, a lot of my friends did it, and they were just you could ask family or friends or anybody. Some people are just, and I don't know. And you could have them, and then you would tell them to a specific post. And so one of them, the big one that got a lot, which was I posted, I don't know, I can post it in here. It was check out, or who's getting ready. I need 5 people to get ready for summer. Comment or lose 5 to 10 pounds or 10 to 20 pounds. That's what it was. And then, sorry if I'm making this really confusing. So then they would just post that, and then I would follow up with every single person who would either like it and who commented on it. And then I would follow up with those people about the product, or about what their goals were. So I would typically ask hey, and then I would say my spots are running low, because just creating a sense of urgency. And then I would just say my spots are running low. I would love to give one to you. What are your health goals? So then they kind of go into it. And then I actually stole what Emily does, about all of the different questions of what their budget, water intake, food intake, exercise, that kind of thing. And that was really helpful figuring out, because weight loss is so specific to different people.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I think, both of you putting in all your wording in Freedom Legacy, just in the comments of this training would be amazing. So we could take a look at those. And I've done host to post before for like a specific product, but I love the idea of, again, doing it for weight loss. Cause you told me that earlier last month that, you're getting all these high volume orders for just general weight loss. And I tried it, and sure enough, high volume orders for general weight loss, because people are willing to try a few more products when they want to generally lose weight, versus saying like, what's this cleanse about? Or what's this, greens about? I think that it just kind of changes the game and gives the opportunity for those, which is huge when you're especially in a promotion. Yeah, I love it. Okay, Jordan, last question. Unless anybody else has questions, which I can't see the chat anymore, except for now when it like pops up or whatever, like immediately I can see it, but I can't see the chat anymore. So if I'm missing something, just hop right in there. Last question for you. What would you say? It's kind of a two-parter. I'm adding in a second part that I didn't tell you about. So yeah, you. What would you say to a distributor who's not yet diamond, who's distributor level, executive ruby, emerald, that wants to be diamond in the next couple of months? What would you tell them that they should do to make that happen? And then the second part of the question is, if you were starting over today, say you're starting your business as brand new Jordan, distributor level, what would you do differently now that you have the perspective that you have? Just starting out, what are some things you do differently? So you're trying to promote to diamond this month. What do you do? And what would you have done differently just brand new starting out?
Okay, so I would watch a lot of training videos, and I would be, I would step out of my comfort zone, because that's the biggest thing, is stepping out of your comfort zone. And like even this month, I was calling a lot of people on the phone, which I hate. It was a real thing, and it like created so much volume too. And it helped me get a distributor. It's getting out of your comfort zone, whatever that is for you, doing something and asking different people, just asking questions and asking I think that's why watching a bunch of different training videos helps, because you're getting a lot of different perspectives. And just not being afraid to bug people, because you're not bugging people. So many people have asked, or they will say that they've been watching and they've seen all these products that they like, and but they really don't know a lot about them. So that's when they want to learn about them. And I've had a few different thoughts, and now I keep forgetting them. But and just figuring out where you want to be and willing to work for it, because honestly, guys, it's worth it when I never thought I could reach diamond. I will say that. I never thought I could. And now here I am. In 1 month, I 8 times my paycheck. And I will tell you that I worked my butt off last month. I worked my butt off, and there was so many emotions. But I just worked. I kept working for my goal, and that increase in paycheck is worth it. And now just being able to figure out, and also when you're looking for distributors, not choosing every single person just because you're desperate. It's not good to be desperate, because then you get I have the full chart, half my chart of people. I've had people who don't work because I just wanted people. And then I picked out somebody that was really amazing. I've had a couple people now, and they are killing it. I'm putting my time into them because they're putting their time in, and you want to find those people too. And because then you don't want to just waste. Your time is important. Your time is precious. And so just being smart about your time, I guess. And I don't know, I would just get out of your comfort zone and be willing to put in the work and remember your goals. Literally, I have a dream board that I made at Sarah's house a few months ago, and I've already crossed off 3 of them. So that's really exciting. And I honestly made it, and I was we'll see. I don't know if that was helpful.
Yeah, that was super helpful. Sorry, I dropped my phone. I love you. You're making me cry. I'm just so proud of you. You guys, I've known Jordan. I'm going to embarrass you for a quick second. I've known Jordan since she was like 5 years old. And she had this patch on her eye.
Okay.
And it makes me laugh to now see you as a diamond leader. And I feel like you're just stepping into this like role so well. And I feel like this training thing is natural to you. And I love that we're hearing from you tonight. That was the last question that I had for you, unless anybody else has others that want to pop up. But thank you so much for sharing all those tips tonight. That was just so incredible. And just to hear from you, this brand new leader, just stepping into that role is so incredible to see. And I'm so proud of you. And I feel like you've just given a lot of people a good amount of life and practical tips from this training tonight. So thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. Okay, Emily Roby, let's get to you, girl. Same question that I just gave Jordan. What would you say to a distributor who wants to go diamond in the next few months? What do they have to do to make that happen? And if you were starting over your business today, what would you do differently now that you have the perspective that you do? Emily Roby, are you here? I don't know. I can't.
Don't worry. I was just like going off and realized I wasn't unmuted. It's fine.
Girl.
Not a big cue on the recording. I'm like, no, going on up here. It's fine. Yeah. So I love this question more than you know. I would like literally love it. And I think if this is what I'm going to tell you, do you want it? I mean, do you truly want it? Are you willing to do what it's going to take to get there? That's it. If you truly want it, then go get it. You have every resource at your fingertips. Freedom Legacy is insane, you guys. Claire, Katie, Sarah, Brittany, everyone has put together such incredible resources that the only thing stopping you from getting that promotion is you. There's nothing stopping you. And I think when it came down to that, when I was realizing there was no magic Zoom I could listen to, there was no, I mean, not that Zooms are great in the sense that you get fired up and there might be some kind of maybe tool or resource or wording that might work best for you. But when I finally realized that I need to find my groove, I mean, I've watched these 3 leaders rise up for the last 2 years, and they each run their businesses really in different ways. The same meat and potatoes, I'm from the Midwest, we use that term a lot. So the same meat and potatoes are brought to the table, but they're still finding their own groove. I mean, so I think for me, I realized that I'm not going to be a Claire, Katie, or Sarah, or Alyssa, or Jade Hooper, or all these other people that I follow necessarily. I need to find who Emily Robison is and what my business is going to be, because someday I am going to need to know that, and soon. And I think one thing that I follow and I tell to my team all the time is claim it, speak it, believe it, and work for it. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. And there's a difference between easy and simple. My team knows that I hate the E word. There's a difference between easy and simple. Just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, but it is a very simple business model. I mean, the business is so simple, you guys. I really adapted the mindset to that. I was willing to make a temporary sacrifice for a long-term reward. I was definitely away from my children more than I've ever been in February. I've also poured more money into my business in February than I ever have. That being said, it was still a lot less than I've ever spent in anything in my entire life. But I did pay for that room. I did buy some product. The fun thing was actually I used all those products. I just pulled everything off my shelf. I got outside my comfort zone. Pray tonight. Like, make a post if you want to tonight. But over the next 12 to 24 hours, really take a hard look at who you are, who you want your business to be, who you want to represent, how you want to represent you as a business, and start running with it. If you haven't found your brand, your style yet, or maybe if you're in a new season and it's needing to change for you, then run with it. Figure that out. Start working that to find your market, to find how you market, to find how you represent yourself, and really just set those daily achievable goals that will add up to huge wins. I'm going to tag into this part here. A lot of people are asking me my 6 list. You guys, I don't have a set 6 list. I have a lot of people that need me, and I've really had to revamp how I run my life. I mean, I have 3 children under 5. I am currently nursing, starting to supplement my 6-month-old. My husband works 3rd shift, so I'm like single mom in it at night, and I have 2 83-year-olds who really need me at times. And now a big team that needs me too. So I've really had to revamp my 6 list. So my every day looks different for me, you guys, but I have started implementing power mornings before my husband starts his work week. I just at least get a 3-hour window, even if it's going and sitting at a coffee shop, and I pour into myself first, because you guys, I was pouring so much of myself out that I was losing me. I mean, truly, if you want to be diamond, that means you're leading a lot of people that are going to be needing you. And on top of the other 6 other people in my house that need me, I've really had to figure out how to keep pouring out of my cup, because it's what I want to do, and that's my heart. So I know, Katie, that's probably not the answer you wanted with the 6 list, but I will tell you, self-development, posting consistently. I only post about 3 times a day to Facebook and about once to Insta. I love hard on my team, you guys, because they deserve this. The only reason I'm sitting here right now in front of you guys is because I have the most amazing team. I'm biased. I'm going to be biased a second. I have the most amazing team, you guys. God has brought people into my life that are hungry and that they want this and they deserve this. And I am going to help them mark those dreams off. We've already marked some things off our boards this year, and it's going to keep happening. And then I really communicate daily with my current loyal customers and my potentials in one way, shape, or form. You guys, I'm having people that are investing $300 to $400 for their first month with me. I mean, these are how I'm signing huge. So I'm really loving and appreciating their investment with me, and I'm walking along with them in that journey. But my original 6 list looked very much like Katie Rogers's. Well, although hers is like a 13 list, but I'm not as cool as her. But like a 6 list, really, just really reaching out to people. I'm always making sure I'm liking or sending birthday wishes to everyone under Facebook on events, because that'll post things back up in conversations. I'm just being a real person. I'm connecting with people. I'm building relationships. So that's the 6 list question. And then what was the second half of that question, Sarah?
I wanted to know, if you were starting over your business today as a brand new distributor, what would you do differently now that you have the perspective of where you are now?
Get over yourself. Get over myself early. Like, I would literally be like, okay, I'm going to listen to my leaders. I'm literally going to take it, with a grain of salt, a shot of tequila, and I'm going to run. Like, whatever I need to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to listen from the beginning. And there was a really cool shift this last year, you guys. When I had to erase that chart, I got excited when I saw those empty boxes. Like, I literally got excited. There was a shift in my spirit, because I didn't see it as people that I needed to sign necessarily. I mean, who knows when I'm going to sign someone who's going to sign a whole team, but it didn't even matter if that even happens, or even if I do sign that and personally enroll that entire chart. Those are boxes. Those aren't boxes. Those are people who are praying right now for an answer that I have. Like, there are people out there right now freaking out because they have to take their kids to daycare tomorrow, and it's spring break, and they just want to freaking be with their kids. Or there's a single person who is exhausted of working for somebody else and fulfilling their dreams, and disappointed because college, gosh, I paid $30,000 a year for 4 years for what? To go work at Staples, and there's nothing wrong with working at Staples if you work at Staples. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people who have dreams and goals and want something more, and they just don't know what it is. They don't think it's out there. They've been told for so many years now that, well, you get a job, you go to work for someone else for 40 some years, and hopefully your pension's still there. I think what I would just do is I would just hold on to this golden nugget early that I realize that I have in my hand, and I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to share it with the world, because guess what? It's selfish of me to hold on to this. I feel like I have more I want to say, but nothing's coming. So you might want to go.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it, Emily. You're preaching right to me. I love your passion, and we've seen you lead this team in different ways over the last few months, and it's just such a blessing for all of us to hear your inspiration. And thank you so much for just sharing from your heart and also sharing practical tips. I just feel so filled up from the Zoom tonight. I can't even tell you guys. I couldn't think of 2 better diamond leaders that we get to now have on our team. I'm so thankful for you guys, and thankful for your leadership and how you're already stepping up, even though you're just brand new this month. I'm so proud of both of you, and thank you so much for being on this tonight. and giving up of your time and just pouring yourselves out for us. I just really appreciate it. So pray that this recording worked okay. I really honestly don't know. But that was just so life-giving. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to try to turn this thing off from my phone. If I can't, then you guys know how to leave too. Have a really good night, you guys, and we'll talk to you all later. Love you all.